Wow.
Yeah, I can't beatbox, bro. I just realized I don't know how.
Welcome back to Insightful Hypocrites, episode 6.
No, that's not it.
That's it.
Let's do this one. Welcome back to Insightful Hypocrites, episode 6. Thanks for joining us again, guys.
Why was mine not good enough?
Because it sucked. No, it was good. All right, do a new one. You can start over for real.
No.
Well, no, this will. You don't even have to keep those other takes in there. For real this time, we won't start with a joke one.
I want the first one because it led in with laughs. We were having a fucking great time.
And now you ruined it.
Exactly.
Okay, well.
We're keeping it.
No, thanks for tuning in again. Once again, messed up on Spotify. Nothing we can seem to do about it. Just going to leave that there.
They emailed me out of the blue. We're working on that.
You need to keep on their ass, man.
I gave up after week 4, man. I just, I didn't even check after we
come
uploaded
back
this
with
week's
energy.
For a couple days, or I guess yesterday. I looked, and I was like, of course it's messed up. I wasn't even upset anymore. I just expect it now.
That's their plan, bro. They knew you'd give up. No, don't give up. They're playing the long con. They're war of attrition. And you gave up.
They're driving me insane.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening again, everyone who came back.
Sweden's popping.
Sweden. All our Swedes. Thanks for coming back again. Shout out to you guys. Everyone else, also shout out to you. Don't feel like we're just not shouting out you. We're shouting out everybody.
There's so much music out there.
So much music. It's almost overwhelming. You know? Like trying to listen to all the new stuff.
Yeah, and there's so many good people that I know are good that I just don't listen to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get caught up listening to stuff that I know I like.
Yeah, I listen to so much of the same stuff. Like, there's songs by Eminem I've probably heard like 300 times by now.
Yeah, it's your boy. But,
yeah, we're boys.
Nipsey, your boy. Nipsey Hussle, though, anyway, he was doing a lot of good things. He was really trying to improve, you just saw, like, the reason so many people are upset by his death across the board. Like we said, the police chief was named Michael Moore, which I found was not the documentary guy, but Michael Moore is like the police commissioner, I think, in the police commissioner, the president of the police commission or something. I don't remember. He's one of those, but he was quoted after the death as like saying that when he saw the name, he was like shocked and sad because it was someone who was really trying to make a difference in the community. Because he's from like South LA, which is not by any means a easy place to grow up, and he's from like the Crenshaw district. I mean, I've been to LA. I've like driven through every part of LA with my family, but
been to San Diego.
Been all over. San Diego's beautiful. San Diego's like the best, most perfect weather in the world. Family all over it. I spent a lot of time in California when I was young.
Been to Temecula.
Temecula's right outside of San Diego. Yeah, I worked in Escondido.
We landed in San Diego, stayed in Temecula.
I worked in Escondido for when I was out there. But yeah, no, anyway, all over there. But yeah, he was from like South LA, the hard part, the Crenshaw district, and he was trying to do really good things there. Like Josh said, with STEM stuff in particular, he worked a lot with like elementary schools in the area and like trying to get them in their STEM means like, your sciences, your technology, your engineering, and your mathematics fields. He was doing great there, and he was doing a lot of things. He had opened some, I don't know, I was reading some articles talking about how the LA County or something built the subway line, like an on-ground subway line, which is kind of ugly, like through that part of the Crenshaw district. And there was like a lot of backlash against it or something. And so then he was part of starting this project. It was like a mile, 1.3 miles or 1.5 mile long, like chunk of land there where it was designated to like put people's like art, like from the African American community in the area, the South LA community in particular, like give them an opportunity and a platform to show off their art and show their roots and show all the things that they can do both in, in the artistic ways. So it's like the subway goes through this thing. The way that I read the article, it's like the subway runs right through this like 1.3 mile long area that's completely designated to like showing off arts and all that kind of stuff, statues, and a pretty beautiful thing. He was a part of a lot of really great things. The business that he actually got shot at, his business, that clothing company, I can't remember what it's called. What was it called? Marathon Clothing, yeah. Yeah. It was located, because I think his first mixtape or something was called like Slauson Boy or something, or his first single.
I do not know that.
But it's located at like Crenshaw and Slauson, I think. He was doing so many good things in that community. Yeah. It's so sad that he
It's ridiculous.
People and
it sucks that he got shot from someone who like lived in that community. It's like,
was that a jealousy or what? Did they know what the reason was? Or
he was.
They think the reason was.
Well, I heard that the guy was a snitch, police informant, and Nipsey didn't want him hanging around. So I think he made that known to him, and I don't know what the deal, if the guy's just ego was too big and he had to come back and shoot him to fucking prove a lesson. I don't.
Well, it's interesting. I don't have to get into conspiracy quite yet, but he had that tweet apparently like the day he got shot where it was like what did it say? It was like having strong enemies is a blessing or something.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? One of the things I really did like when I was reading about him, he had this quote from when he was like first coming around. But it was like the guy asked him, because he came in and apparently he wasn't wearing any chains or any bling or anything, and the guy was like, why aren't you wearing any diamonds? Like, why aren't you? And he's like, man, I'm trying to invest in real estate. He's like, I'm trying to like help my family out and like make big term improvements. And he like talked against like what we've kind of talked against, like the materialistic way that people, or I think so many people when they're starting to get money, even if you're not spending above your means, people spend exactly to their means.
Yeah, they always adjust to the money they're making.
Yeah, so but you shouldn't like you should live like you're still poor once you start making money for a while and invest and not worry about buying like really nice clothes and really nice shoes and getting a really nice car right away. You should buy things that are going to keep gaining you money afterwards, because people spend all of their money that they're making not realizing that like once you stop making money, you're not going to be able to continue that lifestyle. But if you instead still live like you're poor in the beginning, or you don't necessarily have to live like you're poor, but you don't have to buy flossy things that you don't need.
Yeah,
unnecessary, materialistic, braggy, fashionable, vain things that are, it's all about your ego, where it's like, I need to appear to be well off because I'm worried about what people think about me. If you're not worried about that and you invest in things that are long-term, so businesses, stocks, real estate, whatever the hell that is, then you actually turn out to be rich. You don't just appear rich for a while. You end up being actually rich. This is coming from someone who's poor as shit. So take that for a complete grain of salt. And it's easy for me to say don't spend money when I don't have a lot of money. But also, you two have known me forever, and I don't buy a lot of shit. I buy consumables, and then I don't buy a lot of clothes. I'm not a shoe guy. Also, I just maybe have a terrible sense of fashion. Maybe that's it too. But yeah, I don't know. But I respected that when he was talking about buying real estate and trying to make his family better long term, rather than, you know, the goal is to be rich, not appear rich. Like I said, like that's really what it is. That's why you see. Have you ever seen that documentary, the 30 for 30, Going Broke?
Never seen it.
You should watch it. It's super, and I should rewatch it because I haven't seen it in a long time. But it's about how it's pretty much NBA stars was there. But most NBA people within like 3 or 4 years out of the league are fucking broke.
I just heard Shaq mention that on something. And
it's because so many people are not even just NBA players, people in general, like give 90% of the world, 90% of America, give them, especially at the age people in the NBA are signed, at 18 or 19 years old, hey, here's a $10 million contract. You are going to blow $10 million. Like, I know what I would do at 18. Yep. I'm 24, and I still might blow 20. You know what I mean? Like, as I'm talking about being smart with money, it still would be easy to blow it. Like, if you're not taught how to spend money, or you don't have mentors around you, and you know when you get that much money, the leeches come out, man.
Oh, yeah.
The leeches.
Definitely.
Same thing with lottery winners a lot of times.
And snakes, man. It's like, that big guy who won the lottery in South Carolina, that huge Mega Millions earlier this year. Remember that one? They're anonymous. That's how you would have to do it. I would be totally anonymous. I would not tell. Yeah, he's like South Carolina. You can. I think that's where he won. If I could, I would be anonymous. I would tell a couple friends. If you told anyone though, everyone would know. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't even matter if I told you. I would expect everyone to know. Like, you know what I mean? Because you tell your mom and dad like it's gonna happen, and then guess what? It doesn't even matter. Like, if they tell their most trusted person, everyone.
Same.
Dude, somebody won $1.5 billion and they're from North Henderson. It's like, everyone's going to fucking know. You know what I mean? Like,
you're just like strolling out and you get in your new car.
Dude, people, I don't know around here. People, you would have to seriously worry about getting robbed. Like, I don't know why people would think you're going to have $1.5 billion in your house.
Cash, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
But it's like, people would be like, if you didn't have a security system, you better invest in a security system. Yeah, you have to build a new house with like guards and.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Rich, building your own house out there.
Go fuck yourself.
That's theoretical. You made a face like something broke, and I was like,
bro, no, because I meant to throw that pin at you sideways so it wouldn't hit you with the point, and it came out like a javelin the whole freaking way, bro.
Sticks in like an arrow.
Wow, I'm an idiot. I'm so glad that ended well. Grab me that pin, though, will you?
No.
Bring me back my javelin, boy. No, but in the conspiracy, so Nipsey Hussle was gonna. This is where people get all conspiracy theory, and I love conspiracy theories. But this one, I don't know if I'm sold on. So Nipsey Hussle he was making a documentary on Dr. Sebi. Right? You know who Dr. Sebi is?
Dr. Sebi.
God, I want to smack the shit out of you. But anyway. So Dr. Sebi is this guy. He got really famous. He's an herbalist. So... I want to smack him. I'm going to javelin this one at you, too. I'm going to need a third pin.
You're not getting another one. You've reached your 2-pen maximum.
So, people think he got killed because he was making this documentary about Dr. Sebi. And Dr. Sebi, so he's this famous herbalist, and he got famous in the 80s. He's this Honduran guy. And he's this Honduran herbalist who claims that when he was younger, he got cured by this Mexican doctor of diabetes and obesity from just like this diet of herbs. And like an alkaline diet is what he taught. So we can get into the alkaline diet too, but the Mexican doctor apparently cured him of diabetes and obesity through this alkaline herbal diet. And I have a friend who's big on this, and he sells herbal alkaline products in Chicago actually, but we could have him on sometime, I'm sure. But he got really famous in the 80s because he claimed to have cured AIDS during the AIDS epidemic. So during a time we weren't alive to even understand, but that had to be the scariest fucking thing in the world. Because at first they didn't know where AIDS came from. They didn't know it was sex. Like, they just at first they're like, well, everyone's getting AIDS out here. Like, gee, that'd be so scary, dude. But he got famous during the 80s for claiming that he had cured AIDS. So what's super interesting about it, he claimed to cure not only AIDS, like AIDS and HIV, herpes, sickle cell anemia, cancers, a whole bunch of, like, a myriad of fucking diseases and disorders with just an herbal alkaline diet. I think immediately whenever you hear anyone say something like that, there's this like immediate reaction is like, this guy's a fucking kook. You know what I mean? Like he's selling snake oil. You know what I mean? Because anyone who claims, I think anytime you hear anyone make huge claims, you automatically get super skeptical. Sorry, I sound all scatterbrained because this guy was super, super fucking interesting. But he talked about a strict vegan diet. He cut out all alcohol, sugar, no iodized salt, no processed foods, basically. Like, it's a really strict diet. And he talked about energized foods. So he talks about the alkaline diet is based on, you know what alkaline means? You're at like a neutral pH. So you're not acidic or basic on the pH scale. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk.
Yeah, you're just listening. But you see, you know what I mean? The acidic and basic scale on the pH scale. So I think it's like 7. I think 7.0 is alkaline, which is just neutral. And anything below that is acidic. Down to 1 to 7 or something is acidic. 6.9, and then 7.1 and above or whatever is basic. 13 or 14. Yeah, 13 or 14. I think it ends at 14. I think it's even. So your body, I think, usually runs at like 7.3 to 7.4 though, or something like that. I can't remember what the average is, something like that. And the alkaline diet claims basically that he says that certain foods affect the pH of your body, and there is actual certain disorders where you can become more acidic. Your blood basically becomes more acidic or more basic. And it can be super bad for you. And it can cause a bunch of problems. But, I don't know, there's been a bunch of studies back. Some of them claim that the alkaline diet was okay and right. And then a bunch of them claim that the alkaline diet was total bullshit. The food can't really affect the pH of your blood or your body because your blood basically has all these metabolic mechanisms built into it that are made to keep kind of a homeostasis, like a maintained pH, you know what I mean? It's supposed to maintain at one level, so your body has these hormones and chemicals that pretty much keep it at that range it's supposed to be at, because if you don't stay in that range you're supposed to be at, you do get sick. And when you say that, if you don't stay in that range you get sick, it makes sense that he then talks about, when you say it like that, it does make sense that the alkaline diet, thinking that you could affect your pH, would get rid of sickness. You know what I mean? Like those, I understand the link there. So he'd apparently advertised that he had cured AIDS. And so, but the New York Attorney General, I think, took him to court for making unproven, unbacked therapeutic claims without being, plus he's not a real doctor. I don't think he doesn't have like a medical degree. But so you can't really say you cured AIDS without like proof, you know what I mean? But what's interesting, so that he got taken to court twice.
Hey, I cured AIDS.
And here's what's super interesting, and this is why this documentary is interesting, and the conspiracy, it makes you think. So the conspiracy is that because he was trying to make this documentary about Dr. Sebi curing AIDS, he got killed. Doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Dun, dun, dun.
That seems like a big leap. But Dr. Sebi apparently brought in 77 patients, okay? 77 people he brought with him that he had claimed to cure. I don't think they're all from AIDS, but from different diseases, cancers and whatever, sickle cell anemia. And there's lots of people, across thousands of people who claim that he really helped them. But he brought in 77 people to court and won both of his cases. So the man brought in 77 people that he said he cured and then apparently had enough proof to win the fucking case.
It's pretty insane.
And no one's talking about that the man cured AIDS, or at least looking into it further. So when you start understanding why the conspiracy theory maybe has some roots or is founded in some way, it's like, okay, why? If at any time somebody claims to cure AIDS, the first thing you should do is say, okay, maybe that's bullshit. But if you claim to cure AIDS and you can bring me someone who doesn't have AIDS anymore, because they had other doctors, just not just like the guys like, oh, this guy doesn't have AIDS. And they're like, yep, believe you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure they had to test. Like, that it's a court case. I wasn't in court, but they don't just believe you have to have some numbers to back some shit up for that. If any other person in the entire world were to say that they cured AIDS, even if you're skeptical as shit, wouldn't we look into it? And so that's where this conspiracy theory, people will run with it. And maybe it's, I can't tell you what's true. I don't know shit. But I can tell you that
pharmaceutical market is huge.
The pharmaceutical lobby is neck and neck with oil lobbyists. Is like the biggest and most powerful in the fucking country. They are evil. Them, the pharmaceutical, the oil, and Monsanto are like a three-headed monster of demise. Like it's the three horsemen of the apocalypse.
What about
DuPont?
What they are.
Well, DuPont goes right in that system.
Yeah.
The agriculture system, I suppose. But the agriculture system is great. It's just there's a lot of evil companies behind it, especially because I work for a farmer. I know the beauty of what the agriculture system does for the world. They feed the world, but there's a lot of terrible things that are done to make our food work. At the same time, it's this whole first world problem where we all want a $1 hamburger, but then want our cows to be happy. If you want to eat vegan and it makes you happy, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's not what I'm saying. Whatever you feel good and you want to do, and there's nothing wrong with being morally against hurting animals. Like that is amazing. Like I think a lot of times some vegans do want a pat on the back. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a vegan.
Some of them do.
But it's honorable, I think, to not want to kill anything. Not all of them. But at the same time, we have fucking canine teeth, okay? They may not be as pointy as other animals, but that's through years of evolution. We're made to eat meat. I'm sorry, like everything about you tells us we're not made to eat meat in the proportion we eat meat, but we not to develop our bodies without eating any meat. We are omnivores. We're supposed to eat mostly vegetables. That's a fact. We're supposed to eat mostly greens and things that grow. Fact. But we are developed to eat some meat. Some of our biology definitely comes from eating meat. But what the hell were we talking about? Where did that come from? Before that. Oh, no, we're talking about, yeah. So I will say this one thing, though. The vegans have this idea that everything they're doing is great. How we grow crops. You want to know what kills a shit ton of animals? And a shit ton of natural wildlife and a shit ton of natural environment? No, not only pesticides. The way we grow crops. Because the way we grow most crops, not only in the United States, but everywhere, is you fucking take a piece of land and you take everything off of it. Okay, you take the trees off of it. You take whatever natural shrubbery was there, take whatever natural grass was there, take whatever natural bushes were there, whatever flowers, whatever animals, whatever was there, and you fucking plow that shit over, you flatten it as best you can, you tile it, right? You make it so it drains. You get only one crop growing there, and then that's how you grow it. There's not a lot of animals now living on that acre of land. None of your natural fauna or flora that was supposed to be there is there now. What you have is a bare piece of land with one kind of plant growing. A plant that wasn't probably natural in that environment most of the time. And a plant that doesn't harbor a lot of other life except for super beetles and super bugs.
Corn.
But anyway, back to Dr. Sebi. Corn.
You like my translation?
Dude, I have literally been talking for 12 minutes and no one said a word.
Yeah. I'm letting you do it this week. I let you do it every week. I don't talk.
But anyway, so back to his story. So Dr. Sebi, he apparently won these cases. And he actually he got called on by a lot of famous people like John Travolta and Michael Jackson. He ended up having a lawsuit with Michael Jackson, which was a big thing too, because I didn't read into that one much, but apparently Michael Jackson, the lawsuit against him claimed that Michael Jackson went to this retreat, or no, Dr. Sebi sued Michael Jackson is what I think it was, that for unpaid funds. He sued him for a shit ton of money, like $600,000 or something, man, like a lot of money. He said that Michael Jackson came to his retreat for like 6 months and he had like herbal chefs getting him stuff to get rid of his opiate addiction. And then Michael Jackson's people only paid him like $33,000 of the $600,000 he was owed or something. I don't know the exact numbers. But then Michael Jackson's people said like that never even happened. I don't know. But John Travolta, a bunch of famous people went and got treated by him. And a lot of people say that he did great things. But at the same time, anyone who claims to be able to cure, you know what I mean, and charges people a lot of money. Like his AIDS thing, where his ad where he said he cured AIDS, it was $500 to get cured of AIDS. And then $80 every session after that. Which doesn't sound expensive. But also, it doesn't sound like you should be able to cure AIDS for $500. Like,
yeah, very true.
But then he was apparently charging rich people, like he was apparently charging only rich people a lot of money. Like $500 is reasonable. If that's all his cure, that's what he's charging, like normal people. But apparently he's charging people like Michael Jackson and John Travolta a shit ton. So when he got arrested for money laundering. He got arrested like one time with like, I don't know, like 20-some thousand bucks in cash. And then another, like a couple weeks later, got arrested with like 30 or 40-some thousand or 50-some thousand dollars in cash. And he got sent to like a Honduran prison and apparently got really sick while he was in prison. And then on the way to the hospital, he died of pneumonia. And so there's like a conspiracy that they tried to kill him off because he was, you know what I mean, and pharmaceuticals. And then the conspiracy spirals into theirs that Nipsey Hussle is trying to bring out his information because it's making a comeback and that the cure for AIDS or whatever cancer might be there and he's trying to expose it. And so they killed him. But then I heard a little talk, like an interview with Nipsey, and he was saying that the reason he really wanted to do the documentary on Dr. Sebi wasn't even so much to like promote his products or his research. It was really to just talk about the fact that a guy went into court, said he cured AIDS, beat a case with 77 patients that proves when he beats this case, according to bring those patients in, that he cured it, and then no one talks about it. And then that guy gets killed. It was more about that for what I heard, you know what I mean? It was what he made it sound like rather than promoting the products. And that's why I can't say that an alkaline diet is going to cure AIDS or cancer. I don't know, but I think they should do some research on it. Like, that's definitely curious, right? Now you need to say something, Tulsa.
You probably shouldn't say anything because you might get killed.
I'm not going to get killed. Nobody gives a fuck what I say.
It's my birthday week.
Yeah, his birthday is Monday, people. So, for Tulsa's birthday.
You might be listening to it on my birthday.
You should be listening to it at release. So, hey, today's Tulsa's birthday.
Hey.
But no, for Tulsa's birthday, go to goodnotestore.com. Get yourself a tie-dye. Show us some love.
That'd be a great birthday present.
That'd be a great birthday present. But also, got some exciting stuff coming out this week. Some new projects, like I said, a couple collabs. But what you should really do for Tulsa's birthday is send us some feedback. Talk to us on Instagram, or do you have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter.
Everything is at Good Note Co.
But I don't ever check the Twitter.
Good Note Co. everywhere.
This is the worst podcast we've had yet, I promise you. Quit doing shitty. No. Look at me. Look me in the eyes. Talk. Put more eye drops in.
No. Put more eye drops.
All right.
Feed your eyes with eye drops.
I'm telling you, this isn't a good one.
More eye drops.
There's no funnies.
But what else?
I have other points, but you have to talk. You can't just sit there and look at the wall. God damn.
At one point when you were talking, I thought of Trailer Park Boys and I wrote it down.
I saw you write something down.
I laughed before it too.
Okay, well.
I was just going to ask you if you've seen the new Trailer Park Boys.
No, I haven't seen any of it. What
you watched it, didn't you?
I haven't yet. I forgot it came out. I need to.
Throw me. I'm hungry. I need a pizza, bro. Order a pizza. Do you feel like it's a weird age? As in, there's a lot of pressure at the age we're at because people who we know are getting married and having good jobs.
Right,
and
someone getting their life together.
Well, it's just also...
Oh, it's weird because, like, you know, people just go kind of different speeds, you know? So.
Mm-hmm. That, and how many people, like, who are our age, our
That's
parents...
That's also a fucking excuse, though, too. It's like,
yeah. It's not... I don't think we should feel rushed into it, but I feel like we should feel the pressure to start wanting to do more.
For sure.
Or definitely accelerate. It's like, where do you start sometimes?
That's exactly it. It's like, what's the first step? You know, people are like, you just got to make that first step. It's like, well, what is that first step?
We talk about it all the time. You just got to like, go in one direction. You got to pick a direction. You don't have to know what direction. Sometimes running blind is not sometimes. Better than it's always better than just standing still.
Or going, if you're standing still, you're going
not
backwards,
always.
You know?
If you're running blind off a cliff, I guess that's
very true, yeah.
But most of the time, just going in some direction, even if you don't know where you're going, is better than just stagnating. I think stagnation's the biggest enemy.
Yep.
What kind of porn you like?
Let's hear what you like, bro. Let's hear how weird you are.
How honest are we being right now?
I don't know.
Do you ever one of those big ass jawbreakers?
Yeah.
That was just
That
like
was super big.
it was such a ripoff.
You'd see it and it looked so cool and you wanted it, and then you get it and like 5 minutes in you're like, jeez.
It was.
And you set it down on the counter somewhere and never touch it.
Dude,
again.
I one time like licked it till it was like because all you could do is you couldn't fit it in your mouth, so you just had to lick it till it was smaller.
That's what she said.
And then it's still like the thing's just fucking disgusting. You know what I mean? Like it's just covered in your. It's just covered in your spit. It's just like, why didn't anybody make that?
I made a lot of money.
Yeah, how many of those fuckers did I buy? Just one or two, probably.
Every kid in America bought one or two.
Think about the guy who made the pet rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a rock. Comes in a box.
You can name
You
it.
can name
stuff.
it. Yeah, you don't gotta feed it though, cause it's a rock. You know what I mean?
You can feed it if you want.
But yeah, you want to put some food next to it. It's just like get rid of the food before it's moldy.
You could toss it up.
It's
and
a
down.
rock. You can throw it at your friends. It's gonna hurt them. That's it. It's the rock.
He should release another version that's hollow and made of like plastic and call it Not a Rock.
Or little action figures of Dwayne Johnson. And your pet rock.
Oh. Speaking of The Rock, WrestleMania.
Okay, that was a good segue actually.
He's not going to be there. You know who is going to be there though?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't watch wrestling.
You do know one person.
Steven Seagal.
Batista.
Oh, it's not Steven Seagal. I don't know why he'd be there, but I don't know why that was the first person who popped in my head either.
He's a fight guy, fight scenes.
Yeah, what's his name in Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't know. I don't watch that stuff.
That's a good movie.
Movies. I mean by that stuff.
Gray. He's a gray alien. What the hell's his name? You got Groot.
Steven
you got
Seagal.
Star-Lord.
Starts with a D, doesn't it? They were doing
Drax.
promos and
It's
Triple
Drax.
H just made fun of
Drax.
it. Yeah.
But anyway, so what's up with WrestleMania? Give me your lowdown on WrestleMania. Tulsa. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? Who's wrestling?
Dude, there's like 17 matches or something.
Who's got the advantage? They got reach. They got size.
Oh, you know Brock Lesnar too. He's gonna be there.
Yeah, dude.
He's a champion. His title's on the line.
I've always said Brock Lesnar is one of those guys. If you walked in and he's having sex with your girlfriend, you just ask him if he wants a bottle of water and a banana.
Pat him on the back.
You pat him on the back and you leave because there's no point in dying. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen him? Like,
He's an animal.
Jesus, he's huge. His
He's
muscles,
facing Seth
muscles
Rollins.
have muscles.
Seth Rollins, which is from Iowa. It's the one I go to
He
his
had
coffee
cancer,
shop
didn't he?
all the time. No, that was Roman Reigns.
Oh,
He's facing Drew McIntyre,
so he's
which is from Scotland.
He recovered.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
For
This is
some
the second
reason, I
time.
remember he was like got that long hair. Right? I remember I was at your house one time and you were telling me he's not that good at the mic yet, but he's getting better. I remember you like talking about it, like breaking down wrestling.
I mean, that was true.
Yeah, like I'm ashamed that I even kept that in my memory bank.
You're too hard on wrestling. It's really
No.
great.
I told you, I understand. They're athletes. I saw that one old dude jump off the cage like we talked about. It's dope.
He's in a Falls Count Anywhere match, so I'm pretty sure he's going to jump off something that's like 80 foot tall.
One of the times he's just gonna die.
Yeah, that's
His head's just
I think
gonna
that's
explode like a zit.
almost seems like that's what he's working towards. Every time he gets a chance, he's jumping off of something high, and it's like, whoa, you're almost 50, man.
Man, have you seen that? Nope. Rhetorical question again. You haven't. It's a documentary. It's called Minding the Gap. It was made of. It's kind of a cool concept.
No, I've seen that one.
The Rockford one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy.
No, I've never seen it.
You'd like it. It's about skateboarding.
Wait, what?
It's Minding the Gap. It's about these kids from Rockford. And
Oh, you said it's about skateboarding. I remember me and you watched that skateboarding one, Josh. What was
that's
that?
A good one.
Something Mayhem.
All this mayhem or all the mayhem.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is it a documentary?
Brothers
Yeah.
from Australia, the skateboarders.
But
that's a really
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
But this one's about these kids from Rockford, and like it was a group of friends. Like it'd be like us three, and like one of the kids, Ben, I think was his name, but he like filmed the kids over like 12 years, like his two friends, and like one of the kids was like going through like having a kid, so it was like they were in high school when they started making it, you know what I mean? And like he had like a father who was kind of like whatever, you know what I mean? And so it was like seeing his growth as a parent from like a young parent, and then the other kid was this black kid, and he like I can't remember, he had worked really hard and his dad wasn't around or something, and it was like just seeing them grow and how skateboarding was their outlet to escape the world, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like this well-made documentary, but it was one of my good friends. It was like his friend group who made the documentary. He's in the documentary for 1 second, and he was so pissed that Alex Honnold's documentary won at the Oscars because it beat Minding the Gap, and he was going, I don't know how
it was on the Oscars?
Yeah, it got Oscar nominated.
Yeah,
Isn't that
damn.
awesome kid from Rockford?
That's
made
incredible.
This documentary, yeah. He was so pissed that it
Let's
lost.
get him on the podcast.
We got nothing. All right, let's do this shit. All right. Welcome back to Insightful Hypocrites, episode 6.
I knew that was coming. We're going to hit that at least once an episode. Also, if you could fuck one of the Jonas Brothers.
Do a fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill.
How many episodes do you think we'll make it?
I'm thinking 5.
Yeah.
We suck. All right, so let's just lose it. Let's lose control.
I had control sometimes.
Okay, let's just get into it. Let's just have a conversation like we normally do. Let's just have a conversation like we normally do.
Yeah, it used to be so easy to talk.
Yeah, now you're dumb, and I'm dumb. Together we're dumb.
Oh, fuck off.
Okay, so I don't know. How do you eat? Do you eat good?
Sometimes. There's like...
I sound like a dipshit. Do you eat good? All right, let's start over. How do you eat?
Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Well said.
I go through those phases. You kind of mentioned it last week where you eat good for a while or not eat hardly at all, you know? And then those times will be where you just smash food all week, like, recklessly.
Yeah, no, I do this. Yeah, like you said. That's definitely what
I feel like a lot of people fall into that category.
The up and down with eating.
Yeah.
Some people, I think food's like their drug, though. It's like their getaway. It's like when they're stressed, they eat. When they're
Definitely.
sad, they're eating. That's why they end up 400 pounds.
So people got it with coffee, food, drugs.
I don't know. I got a thing to talk about. And me and Josh were talking about this on the way over here. So it's like me, we were talking about that same cyclical bell curve type up and down with food that I have with like my mood. Maybe it's that I'm like, I don't know, fucking definitely not completely stable chemically in my head apparently, but it's like I'm up and down. So it's like I told you for like a couple weeks I was going down. We talked about that a couple podcasts ago. And then I was feeling really good again. And then just like for the last week, there's also been some other factors that we talked about, but going down a little bit. But one of the things I notice is that consistently when I'm on those down curves, whether it's it's like I start feeling more down, so I start eating shittier. Mm-hmm. But it's like when I'm treating my body like shit, coincides very well with when I'm down those down curves. You know what I mean? It's like they're not exactly linked. Maybe it's like chicken or the egg. You know what I mean? But like when you start eating better, when you have a healthier lifestyle, even if it's just working out a little bit or just like eating a salad here or there and not eating all the sugar, dude. Sugar's what puts you down. Sugar's what puts you so down. You feel so much better. So much better. Until like the turn of the Industrial Revolution, right? When we started being able to manufacture sugar the way we manufacture it now with chemicals and being able to make vegetable oils in the way that we never used them before. Because like to make vegetable oil, you have to have solvents, which you're not supposed to, you know, like you shouldn't use solvents to get your food. But around the Industrial Revolution, when we started being able to process all these foods in the way we do now, is when we stopped also medicine changed. So like we stopped dying of things like tuberculosis and those kind of things that antibiotics cured. And then what you started seeing is the majority of deaths came from things like heart disease and those preventable long-term diseases that are more related to diet and lifestyle. And they all coincide time-wise. There's a strong link to when we started being able to eat more sugar and our diet became more sugar and more processed and all that stuff, that time-wise, to when those diseases became more prevalent. And so there's this group of scientists believe that basically all those diseases are basically one disease, all linked to diet, just diet. based on the processed foods and the amount of sugar we eat. Because if you think about in nature how much sugar you get sugars like natural sugars, but everything we eat is loaded with sugar. And so I remember the thing I was watching was like the doctor said he thought that in 30 years or 40 years, we will talk about sugar like we talk about cigarettes now. That 40 years ago, you could smoke them in the doctor's office. Everyone thought cigarettes were fine. You know what I mean? There was ads that say 9 out of 10 doctors recommend Camels. He was saying in 30 years we'll be talking about sugar. Like, can you believe that there was sugar in everything? Can you believe that they just had, you know what I mean? Because it was just something that we didn't realize at the time that was causing all those fucking problems. But it's totally wild. Also, I'm not a scientist, so if I'm wrong, I'm just repeating somebody else.
Kind of like how
but
people
it's
are
just
changing
interesting to think
from
about. It's interesting to think about
normal
for sure.
milk to like almond milk and stuff like that.
Well, milk is something that's weird because I love dairy, but you're not supposed to drink dairy. Like, no animals drink dairy past birth. You know what I mean? If, like, dairy was meant to be eaten your whole life, don't you think moms would just continue to make dairy their whole life? Like, it's something you're not... Pretty clear, I don't think dairy is very good for you. But I love cheese. I love ice cream.
I like milk.
You should just limit it. It's like we talked about before. I think it's everything. It's everything in moderation, including moderation. Like, you should indulge sometimes, but you should have moderation. Like, when it comes to dieting, it's like people are fucking stupid with diets because they're always looking for, like, what's going to lose me 20 pounds in 30 days? It's like nothing, you stupid fuck. Like, nothing is going to lose you 20 pounds in 30 days without working out. Like, even working out, you're not. It's like there's too many calories to burn. It's hard. Pick any one diet and do it for a long period of time. Commit to it, you're going to lose weight. You know what I mean? Pick any one workout routine, commit to it for a long time, and then make it harder because you have those pinnacles. But you're gonna see results. We gave a challenge last week. We gave a challenge to do one thing towards a goal you've had short term or long term, actually. And also, we encourage you to message us about your goals. We like to go back and forth about your goals, but we'd like to hear some of your guys' progress. Tell us what you done anything this week. I know you had a busy week with work because, like I said, business was good this week, so you sold a lot of shirts. But
business was good. I did the usual.
The huge. Josh, you didn't know the challenge because he actually is a week behind on our podcast. Some friend. No, but I challenge you this week too, Josh, to go back and listen to our last podcast and do that challenge. No, but some of you viewers, I hope your challenges went well. Would love to hear about them. Keep working towards them. I know it can be easy to slip up. I know one day where you don't do something can be like the complete end to routine.
Snowball effect, fall into a hole.
27 days to end a routine. 17 to make it, one day to break it. Yeah, whatever.
Don't let it snowball. If you take a day off, go right back to it the next day.
There's lots of little things that seem like work that actually make your life better. And even though it seems like work at the time, it is what, you know what I mean? You have to enjoy that grind. And if you get sidetracked and like, oh, this sucks, I'd rather just have immediate gratification or comfort, you know what I mean? Then pretty soon your life's just shitty all over because all you're seeking is immediate gratification. It's like you have to learn to do those little things and not even look at it as a grind, but just like working towards the better you and doing those little things. And pretty soon it snowballs into you being the best person you can be and to you working every single day to become a better you, because that's the real goal. Like, none of us are perfect. Not a single one of us on this planet can claim to be perfect all the time, can claim to always be working towards our long-term, can always claim to be grinding away, can, you know what I mean, can say that we're always doing the right thing and we're never fucking up, we're never bad, you know what I mean? We're all imperfect, fractured, fucked up individuals. But if you're trying every single day or as much time as you can to get better, you are constantly improving, then that's what life's about, man. Life is, you don't necessarily have to know where you're trying to improve to, but if you're constantly trying to get better, that's what life is about. It's about that meandering journey towards improvement. You know what I mean? Just improvement should be the goal, and you'll get to somewhere good if you're just constantly trying to get better. You're constantly working on yourself.
Oof.
There's a little ranty.
That inspirational speech.
That was ranty.
That was nice.
That was ranty.
I've been so bad. It's like...
Well, that one I didn't even notice because I was feeling that rant.
No,
right
it's all good, but like...
I gotta tell you something.
I have been bad. I think I'm just really tired. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, sometimes you gotta catch up on sleep. I tell you, you try to convince yourself sometimes. I think that you're I'm invincible. I'm 20. You're like, I don't need sleep.
I do like to
it's
work
like we all
now
need sleep,
when I'm
bro.
young.
I know. I'm the same way. I don't need sleep, but sometimes you got to catch up, and sometimes you try to tell yourself, it's like I see in your eyes where you're like, I don't need it. I don't need it. It's just like that's the ego catching.
It's also fun.
That's the ego, though. You know that's the ego.
Yeah.
Telling you don't need it. You don't need it, but you know you do.
I just want to keep saying you don't. Dude, I wish I could sleep one
do.
night a week.
But we do.
Sick.
A lot of the like great minds in history that like have like really weird sleep schedules, but they sleep a good amount. Still,
weird.
But it's just like they might take naps throughout the day or like sleep like 3 or 4 hours at night, you know. But then like take like 2 or 3 like 20 or 30 minute naps throughout the day.
Or even they do what I'll do sometimes, where it's like they'll go weeks on end with no sleep, and then it's like a couple days where they do a bunch of sleep. You know what I mean? But at some point, everyone crashes. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to crash once in a while.
Fucking tired.
But there's also this weird thing too, talking about snowballing. Sleep's one of the things that I notice is snowballs hard, or it's almost like you shift your perception to where when you're thinking you don't need much sleep, you're definitely better able to function on less sleep than like the person. We all know that person when we were younger, or maybe even now, who is constantly, I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? Like they're constantly overworked and tired. It's like, what'd you get? Like, I went to bed at 10. They got 12 hours of sleep the night before, and they're like, I just don't know what to do with myself. It's like, you know why? Because your whole goal in life is to be asleep. You know why? It's like that. No wonder you're constantly tired.
You're asleep half the day. What the fuck's going on?
But also, it's like your goal is to get back to bed. So of course you're constantly gonna feel like you should be in bed. You know what I mean? Your goal is to wake up and work. So of course you're not gonna feel like you need sleep all the time. It's like whatever you set your priority as, whatever you set your point of
it goes back to feeling good.
Happiness.
I don't know about you, but when I wake up early every day, I feel good and I feel better.
Yeah, but feeling good. But that's
if I wake up past 9 o'clock, I am upset.
Upset? I don't know about upset. It depends.
Like just
on my
disappointed.
Day. I like sleep,
like, man.
I don't like sleep like that. Same way because I don't like sleep at night.
Yeah,
I never want to go to bed.
Me either.
But then I don't really ever want to wake up either.
I never want to go to bed, and I'm okay with waking up.
It depends on when I'm waking up to too. Yeah,
it's hard to wake up sometimes just because I'm in a deep sleep sometimes once I go to sleep. But like once an alarm gets me up, I'm good.
You know, another bad habit that snowballs. Don't if you're a person right now who doesn't press snooze, don't ever.
I do
never
it so
start.
much. I do it
never
so
start.
Much.
The first time you do it, it is Pandora's box to ass fucking yourself. Like,
let us know. Are you that person that sets 6 to 10 alarms like me, or are you a one alarm person?
It is not. For the longest time in my life, I was a one alarm. I got up. It doesn't matter what rang. I would wake up dead, and I would roll out of bed like, "This is what we're doing." Like, and then now,
I got 5 every day.
I'm that person. It's like I would wake up in the shower. Is like what I used to do. You know what I mean? I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, now we're going." Now I'm that person who's like, I'm 3 alarms. Every single day I have 3 alarms now, and it's because I fucking opened Pandora's box to ruin my life. I started setting 3 alarms, and guess what happened? Now, every morning, I'm like, well, I better set 3. And you know what happens when you set 3? You know you're waking up on the 3rd one. Like, why did you even set the first 2?
Sometimes you make it through all of them.
Ah,
you ever done that?
No, I have done that.
Where you just shut them all off?
Able to go back to sleep and like for a little bit, that was pretty kind of a good feeling.
Yeah, good, except for sometimes it's like worse.
Depends on the time, though, yeah.
Dude, there's no
5
worse
alarms
feeling.
set, and once you start setting the snooze, it's like war, dude. You like hit the snooze button, and you got like 2 minutes. And then you hit the snooze button again.
See, mine's a 5-minute snooze.
Mine's 10.
Oh, man. I keep it at 2.
So I set it like 20 minutes before.
I used to have 10.
2 keeps me awake.
I used to have 10. I do 5 now.
My phone fucks up sometimes. So like,
I do 10, I'd fall back 2 deep asleep.
I use like an actual alarm clock still.
Really?
It never fails me, yeah. Set it
like, is it one of those like actual like old fashioned alarm clocks that has the?
I mean, it's like
that'd be lit.
No.
I used to use a normal one too because it had the most annoying buzz,
yeah,
and I would set it across the room,
right, yeah.
and so you had to get out of bed to turn it off.
I do that with my phone too, but after the first alarm goes off, I take it right back to the nightstand.
Like shoot like a target to your shit.
Yo,
like that. Yeah.
That's cool. That'd be cool.
Be somewhat alert, yeah.
Man,
I don't know if it's real or not, but.
Did you know the Statue of Liberty wears a size 879 shoe or sandal? I guess.
I do now, but I don't know if I believe it. It's like a Facebook post. It's like I didn't check my sources.
I got facts.
I definitely don't trust the one who gave it to me.
I got facts like the back of a Snapple cap, Jack. I read it off the back of a Snapple cap, Jack.
I trust the Snapple fact.
Yeah. There's my fucking credentials.
You want to know who the fuck I am? I'm a guy who drinks Snapple.
I get Snapples. I get the facts.
I gotta pee.
And that might not even be the right number. I think it is.
Then that's the worst. That's why I didn't trust you. It's like, yeah, I read on a Snapple can once what the size was, but I don't know what it is. God damn.
My favorite office quote is the Jeopardy one, where Ryan's the CEO, and he calls.
Welcome back to
and he's like,
Celebrity Jeopardy.
We're in serious jeopardy, Michael. And he's like, we're fine. And he goes, I don't think you know what jeopardy means.
Yeah.
What is we're fine?
What is we're fine? It's about double jeopardy too. It's kind of a double jeopardy. There's like two bad things. We're all good or something.
So we're all good.
So it cancels out.
Tu madre con queso.
Your mom.
With cheese.
With cheese.
I remember playing that like 7th grade. I'll never forget it. Anyone else have Tu madre con queso.
Yo quiero. 2 minutes of jokes. Let's go. Rapid fire.
You think I'm not a comedian.
Knock knock.
I'm not funny. Stop.
Maybe it's a good one.
Okay, maybe this one's better.
Maybe this one's a good one.
I want to quit my job.
Become a full-time podcaster.
Yeah, if I could make money off this. Turns out though, 20 cents between two of us over 5 weeks isn't much.
It's a hard living.
By my math, it's 2 cents a week per person.
Yeah.
It's not much, but it's an honest
Yeah.
living.
It's an honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, I guess this is the end
Put
of the
it into
episode.
one word.
If it sucked, they can't all be good. You know. No, thanks for listening though. For real. Next week we're gonna talk about what Tulsa did for his birthday. Got some fun stories coming because we're making him get drunk.
No, not gonna happen.
We'll see. No, but thanks for listening. Thanks Josh for joining. We got our.
I don't even think we introduced him the whole time.
Oh, hey, this is our buddy Josh.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, I did in the middle.
Man sitting in on the podcast, and I gotta get this third mic set up.
No, it's
so
coming
we
up
can
next
have
week,
guests.
right?
Maybe. I guess I still gotta buy the stuff.
Oh.
I'll have to come back by again.
So we'll see how things go. Yeah, you definitely be a guest on it when we can actually
Nope.
have a mic and a
Nope.
headphone set up. Or actually,
You're done. This
just
is
next
it.
week. Just next week, you just come in. We'll not tell Dan about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting my own podcast. It's called the Fuck Tulsa Podcast. It comes out
We're also
Monday.
doing our own podcast.
No. Yeah, Josh is gonna be on it. He's gonna be on both of ours.
And then each podcast, we just talk shit about each other.
Right? And Josh is in the middle, just agreeing with both of them. Like, yeah, he is a piece of shit. But anyway,
Man, I just think we came up with something groundbreaking.
groundbreaking.
Yeah, people love drama, dude. We could kill it.
We're just gonna create fake drama.
Fake news.
Tulsa talk shit about Dan,
Bunch of
and
fake
Dan talk
news.
shit about Tulsa.
It's all fake news.
With Josh. Both of them were with Josh.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening to
Check us
episode
out
6.
on-
Check us out on
Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, Stitcher.
YouTube.
I said YouTube. Spotify.
Tulsa. The website, good note.
Yeah, hold on. Let me run that back. Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean.
God, you're the worst. Okay, let me run that back.
I normally
Catch us
nail
on
it,
Google
dude.
Play, Stitcher, Podcast.
Catch us on podcast.com.
Okay, goodnotestore.com/podcast. All right. Yeah.
No, for real, let's redo that. Because that all sucked. Like, that's not even funny anymore. We just sound stupid.
No, that was probably funny, to be honest.
What are you looking up now? What we're on?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Check us out on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and goodnotestore.com/podcast.
Okay, well, we're still working on Spotify getting fixed, but
Yeah,
keep
Spotify's
listening
back.
if you're enjoying it on there. Once again, send us some feedback. Everyone all over. Our Swedes, our Canadians, our one guy in the Philippines, our U.S. people from all over the states. Thanks for listening. The shout-outs, there's not a shit ton of you.
I just
but
showed him a Snapchat
we're
of
building
my
the fan
cat
base.
with a lightsaber drawn in his hand. Luke SkyWhiskers.
That's going to be the picture this week.
That's a good one.
But no, thanks for listening again. Send us some feedback. Love to hear from you all. I didn't get to a challenge this week.
Ah,
Ooh.
Hit 'em.
Shit.
Hit him with it.
Oh,
it's making my ears
it's
hurt.
gonna be 10 minutes of me thinking of a challenge now. Jump off a bridge. See if you can eat a stick of rat poison.
Chug a whole bottle of bleach.
Right, one bottle of bleach, or one bottle of antifreeze. Use a dirty needle this week, cause fuck it. You know what I mean? Like. Okay. Here's my challenge. Here's my fucking challenge. I get nothing.
I was waiting for it.
I was thinking it would come to me spontaneously.
Sometimes when I start a sentence, I don't know where it's going. I hope I just pick it up along the way.
All right, my challenge this week to all viewers is to do one random act of kindness, no matter how small, to a complete stranger. Doesn't matter what it is. Do one random act of kindness to a complete stranger, and then let that snowball into more kindness and see how it comes back into your life. Let's spread positive energy, one act of kindness at a time, people. No, we're going to do it for real. Okay, no, thanks for listening. Hey, much love. Love y'all.
I'm just adding the ad-libs.
All we need is one more.
We need more gun noises. More gun noises.
Okay, no, hey. Thanks for listening again. Catch us next week. Peace out. Spread love.
Be kind.